What's going on, everybody? My name's Mr. Gravy, and I'm back with another No BS MLB The Show tips video. Today we're going to be looking at the little things and really answering some questions that I hear all the time and things that I think will help you get an edge, okay, on your opponent and just in general, you know, kind of make yourself feel comfortable. The first one I'll get right out of the way. Kontrol Freaks, are they worth it? Yes or no? I think yes. I think they are worth it, and here's why. I like to do a taller stick on the hitting side. I like to do a smaller stick on the pitching side, and the real reason I like that is because when you look at Kontrol, right, I like that with something like this, let's talk, just barely any movements get you pretty far on here. That's perfect for hitting and reacting, whereas when you've just got this small one, I have to move a lot more, and it causes me to be a little bit less precise and kind of you can see here, you know, it just feels, you know, not quite as smooth and as quick, whereas if I have a taller stick, I just feel like I have more control over what's happening. And leverage is an important thing. You know, when you have leverage over something, you do have a little bit more control. So when you're using your Kontrol Freaks, one of the things you should be doing is your thumb placement, right? Some people like to sit and put their thumb like this and go after the ball. That's fine, but you're gonna find that you're gonna be snapping to corners pretty often, and you'll probably overshoot those balls that are close, and that's not really what you want to do. My tip for that is to actually just use the tip of your thumb. I'd say about right here on your thumb, there, right in the middle of my thumb. The tip of my thumb is not pointing down, but it's pointing straight and right across the actual thumbstick. I feel that that gives me the utmost control over what I'm doing. So that's one of the little things that I think is important. The next up, should you get a monitor? Here's the thing with TVs and monitors. If you're looking to play this game at a competitive level, if you're looking to always make World Series and losing is the most frustrating thing in the world to you, I do think getting a monitor is worth it. I game on monitors. I think they're better than gaming on TVs, and personally, I'm somebody who doesn't like input delay. I'm a PC player when I play all my other games, and you have next to no delay on your movements or on your actions. And some people are going to ask, well, what is really input delay? And really what all that is how long does it take from me to press this button and swing? Now, we're not talking seconds here. We're not talking long periods of time being on a TV, but when you're at the Hall of Fame and legend level and you are seeing 102 come out of the hand, a couple milliseconds is honestly going to make a large difference in how you're going to be able to hit and time the baseball. It's just going to be a big difference. It's something that you don't realize until you get a monitor, how it feels, but it's definitely something I would consider doing. I'll link a couple of my favorite monitor builds, including the one I have, in the description below, so check that out if you're interested in that. I do not have any affiliate with Amazon, so if you purchase any of these monitors, I don't get anything for it, so don't think I'm trying to sell you something, because I'm not. Next little thing that you're probably not doing, I think really adjusting. A lot of people, they sit in their one place. They know that if they hold the PCI up and in, they've had so much success in the past, but I find changing it up is the way to go. Throughout the game, if something's not working, make a change, because if you let pitchers in this game, if you let their confidence get too high, you're gonna get stuck with a lot of good OKs that you don't want to get into. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about cameras, right? Strike zone 2. Maybe you even go to strike zone 3 so that you can see the batter a little bit better with his timing. You can get your timing down that way, and then go back to strike zone 1 when you find yourself feeling like it's too far away, because that'll happen. I do this all the time. So one of my other little things that you can do too is every once in a while, I think you should do this. Go ahead and turn your plate coverage indicator off, especially if you're warming up. I think if you warm up and you have it off and you just react to what you see, especially when you're warming up, it's going to go a long way. You're going to find that when you turn that PCI back on, you'll be less reliant on it. A lot of people look at their PCI and they try to track with it, and it leads you to swing at pitches that you wouldn't normally swing at because you're just following your PCI, which is following the ball. What I think you should be doing is always just following the ball and using your PCI to react. Let's talk about some other little things. What's the most important pitch to hit in this game? Without a doubt, it's the fastball. What should I be looking for at the plate? And I think what you get yourself into when you're kind of just looking and guessing all the time is sometimes guessing will work for you. But if you want to be more consistent, I would be looking fastball, and I would always be trying to hit off of that. It's always easier to adjust and slow down than it is to speed up. I talked about that in my adjustment video, so if you haven't seen that, link in the description below. I recommend checking that out as well. Finally, my last thing, one of the little things in this game is tunneling when it comes to pitching. What is tunneling? Tunneling is making pitches look like they're coming off of each other. I think the best way to show this is going to be with trail fade on. You can see how the fastball, that's his release point. It's going to come out that way, and if I throw a ball down the middle, it's going to look like it kind of dives back in on Correa here. So what we're looking to do, right, if we throw this pitch down and in, it's going to look like, you see how it kind of slides in towards him? It's going to look like almost like a two-seam where it comes all the way in. So how would you want to pitch off of that? Well, after something like that, you maybe throw a two-seam bottom of the zone, right? It's got the same arc, same release point. I missed my spot, but you get the point. So when you throw pitches off of each other, you tend to do better. So after you've thrown your two hard fastballs, you can go one of two ways. You can come back with another one kind of a little bit higher, which will probably change his eyesight enough just to get him off of it a little bit, or you can do another one of my favorites, which is do something like this. A changeup would be perfect. Jack's not a great example of doing this, but yeah, see, even the CPU got fooled. and same here. I wouldn't recommend, see, this would be a bad time to throw a curveball because it's such a different angle than the three pitches I just threw, that the best way to come back at somebody is to hit him again with the same spot. And that's another thing a lot of people don't do that real life pitchers do all the time. One of my biggest pitching tips is don't be afraid to hit the same spot with the same pitch. It can really fool a hitter, especially if you're just barely mixing up the location. So if you're throwing a pitch down and in like that, and then I throw another pitch down and in that's just off the plate, well, he's way more likely to swing at that now because he just took that pitch, and he's way more likely to do something like that, hit the ball straight into the ground, and then I get an easy out from it. And then you can set up new, when a new hitter comes up, you can set up new places to go. Now with somebody like Jack and his stuff moves away a lot, or inside to righties, it would be important for me to really utilize that as best as I possibly can. And those are hard pitches to hit, especially if you can dot your corners like that. If you've got a pitcher and the arm angle really favors something in particular, use it to your advantage because people aren't going to be able to hit it as well. Kind of like playing the good animation in this game. When you play the good animations, good things come your way. Those are my little tips to help you get better. If I missed anything, or if you have some tips of your own, leave them there. Of course, I do stream as well all the time. My schedule is updated, so feel free to come by anytime and ask any questions if you have a question about this video, or if you just want to talk hitting, I'm always here for it. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Liking the video really helps with the YouTube algorithm, so if you could help me out, that would be so great. Thank you guys so much for all your support and watching these videos for me. I really enjoy making them, and yeah, thank you so much. Happy hitting.